Hello dear all. So in this presentation we discuss life health disease concept, which is a chapter in Stuart Close philosophy Genius of Homeopathy. So let's see what is the concepts discussed. So concept of life. Life is invisible, substantial, intelligent, individual, coordinating power and cause, directing and controlling the forces involved in the production and activity of any organism possessing individuality. So this is a definition given and actually a concept of life. So life is invisible. So it is dynamic in nature. It is substantial. It's very vital. Intelligent. So all the phenomena in the living beings are intelligently taking place. This is individual coordinating power which controls the functioning of various organs and cause, directing and controlling the forces involved in the production and activity of any organism possessing individuality. So, life is a dynamic power. That means it's an energy which governs, which controls, which coordinates the various functions of the individual. Health. It is a balanced condition of living organism in which integral harmonious performance of the vital functions tends to the preservation of the organisms and the normal development of the individual. So it is a balanced condition of the living organism due to harmonious performance of the vital functions, and this is done by vital energy. So this is the preservation of the organism is taking place in the state of health and the normal development continues. So it is a balanced condition. There is a harmony between the functioning of various organs. Disease is an abnormal vital process. See, important word is vital. So it represents the living processes. Abnormal vital process, a changed condition of life. Now it is a changed condition. The person is now become a patient and patient is experiencing various abnormal sensations. So disease is an abnormal vital process, a changed condition of life which is inimical to the true development of the individual and tends to organic dissolution. So the development of the individual stops here. There is a disturbance in the functioning of various organs. Harmony is lost and patient experiences number of abnormal sensations. Patient experiences weakness, the restlessness, and his sense of ease is lost. So this is a concept of disease. What is death? Death is exhaustion of vital power. The material organism dies, yields to chemical laws, and is dissolved into its elements, while its substantial spiritual organism continues its existence in a higher realm. So the vital power is exhausted. It is no longer governing, controlling the material organism, and this body yields to the chemical and physical laws. That means the body decomposes and it is dissolved into the elements. while the substantial spiritual organism continues its existence in a higher realm. Means what? We consider the concept that after death the soul leaves the body. And what is this soul? Soul is nothing but the spiritual power which was present when the individual was alive. And after death, we believe that the soul occupies another body. So coming here again, the what happens to this substantial spiritual organism continues its existence in higher realm. So it occupies another material body and continues its existence. So vital energy continues its existence in higher realm. Higher realm means nothing but it is continuing its existence into different body. Health and disease are due to the reaction of vital power of organism to various stimuli. So health is a also reaction of vital power to various stimuli, and the vital energy adapts to these various stimuli and maintains health. Whereas in disease state, the vital power no longer can adapt anymore, and then it is occupied or it is controlled by the various stimuli which are affecting this vital power, and person experiences abnormal sensations and functions. So both in the state of health and disease, there is a functioning of vital power, affection of vital power, and reaction of vital power. Healthy man moves, feels, thinks, acts in orderly manner. If he violates the laws of life, there is disorder and disease. So if the healthy man continues to indulge into the faulty food, say, or faulty stimulants, and he uh, continues his any habits which are very much harmful to the life, then what happens? Ultimately he lands into the disorder. So if he violates the laws of life, he is again indulging into some faulty habits, from faulty living mode of living, faulty occupation, then he is going to have the disordered vital energy, that is disease. Vital power reacts to every impression made on it from within without. So vital power, where it is present in every cell. And when we say vital power reacts to the every stimulus, it is from within outside. Dead body yields to physical and chemical agents and dissipated as material organism. So as we see that dead body decomposes, and there are various or it will also obey to the physical agent. That means if it is sun dried, it will turn into a a cadaver. Okay. All reaction to stimuli by which functions and activities of the living body are carried originate in the primitive life substance at the point where it becomes materialized as cells and protoplasmic substance. Now we try to understand that the control of all the functions of the living organism are continuously going on, and who is controlling these activities and various functions is this life energy, or it is life substance, very much in the primitive form. And what is this primitive form? Primitive means a very subtle, very fine, that means dynamic in nature. And this life substance at some point gets materialized as cells and protoplasm. So the basic unit of living being is a cell. Cell contains what? It contains the protoplasm, its nucleus, and various organelles. And who controls the cell? We say nucleus controls the cell, and we say if nucleus dies, cell dies. Now who controls the nucleus? Is it nucleolus? Okay, so who controls the nucleolus? Then we come to an end. So who is controlling the nucleus? It is this life substance. And this life substance is materialized as cell and protoplasm. Materialized means it is present physically. So presence of cell is the physical existence of the dynamic power. Now where is this power? Power resides at the center, and from center of power force flows. Agents act on protoplasmic substance through brain neuroendocrinal axis, which is having action on the target organs. Exciting causes act on the life substance, which is materialized in the cells of CNS, causing reaction of abnormal functions and sensations. So the causes act on the life substance, which are dynamic in nature. Suppose a person gets wet in the rains and he gets fever. So the causes are dynamic in nature, because what is that rain has caused the individual to get diseased. So it is a dynamic cause which acts on the dynamic aspect of the individual. And what is that dynamic aspect of the individual? It is the life substance, and this life substance is materialized, or it is present in the physical form in the cells of CNS, causing reaction of abnormal functions and sensations. Again, why central nervous system? Because the most of the phenomena of the individual are controlled by neuroendocrinal axis. Causes of disease are dynamic in nature. So dynamic causes of disease act on the protoplasm of cell. They act on the life substance of the cell, and this is the center. So we saw this, that power resides at the center, and from center of power force flows. So the center is also dynamic and power is also dynamic. So dynamic causes of disease is the most important feature of homeopathy. We believe that the causes of diseases are dynamic. They are not material. So the dynamic causes act on the vital force. They act on the life substance. And where is it life substance present? It is present in the every cell in the center. But again, it is not visible physically. Its presence is acceptable and felt. So dynamic causes act on the dynamic life energy, and treatment is also by dynamic remedies. So this is the most important aspect of homeopathy. Life in living organism is manifested in growth, repair, secretions, excretion, self-recognition, self-preservation and reproduction. All the physiologists accept these phenomena. All this takes place from center to nucleus and then to centrosome, which is the center of force in cell, the control seat or brain of the cell. Centrosome, as all of us know, it takes part in the cell division. So the phenomena of life is manifested as growth, repair. So continuous repair is going on in the body. The various secretions of the hormones, excretion of the waste, self-recognition, self-preservation of all the tissues and cells and organs of the body, and also reproduction are continuous processes which are going on in all the living organisms. In the individuals, here we are talking of individuals. So this is the manifestation of life. Life is a living process. Again, this is a process, so it is in the dynamic form. You cannot feel the life physically, but its existence is manifested as growth, repair, etc. All this takes place from center and then to nucleus and then to centrosome, which is the center of force in the cell, the control seat of brain of the cell. CNS, that is central nervous system, acts like a dynamo. What is dynamo? If you remember that when you are cycling, the cycle has a dynamo, that the kinetic energy of the cycle helps in the bulb which is put on the cycle, it gets in the light. So this is the kinetic energy converted to the electrical energy, and the light is switched on of the cycle. Nerve impulse is a type of chemical physical energy. Transmission of impulse is by electrical impulse transmission. The causes become operative in the organism conditionally by virtue of the existence of vital power, susceptibility, reaction, and resistance. So, in the body, the impulse is transmitted from cell to cell, and this is by the electrical impulse transmission. And this all of us know that sodium pump acts continuously in all the cells for the propagation of the impulse. In the nerve cells, there is a transmission from node to node. So fast transmission takes place, that node of Ranvier is present, and because that the extreme emergency cases, the nerve impulse has to be transmitted very fast, and this can take place only when the impulse jumps from node to node. The causes are operative in the organism. So the cause of the disease is conditional by virtue of existence of vital power and susceptibility, reaction and resistance. So let's understand what it means by causes act conditionally. It means that even if there are group of individuals present and exposed to the various organisms in the air, that all are not getting affected by it, only few get affected by it, and it is because of underlying susceptibility and immunity. Cure begins at center. So See, the health is also maintained by vital energy. Where is this vital energy? It is present in the center of cell. The disease is also produced by the causes, and where these causes act upon, they act upon the vital energy. And where is the location of vital energy? It is present in the every cell. So disease also acts by the dynamic causes affecting the vital energy. Cure is also from center, so that it affects first the vital energy and spreads outwardly. So cure takes place from center to periphery. Resistance is offered by the life substance to external disease stimuli from center due to law of self-preservation, which is inherent. So even if the person is say getting affected by suppose tubercular bacilli, then the resistance is offered by the life substance, because the life substance has its quality of self preservation. Hence, it is not that the individual will die readily because of the attack of these organisms. So, most important quality of the vital energy is the preservation, and this preservation is also from center. Disease is a battle of vital reaction and resistance of living organism. There is a resistance to the invader. Invader means the one which attacks the individual's vital energy. The causes become operative in the living organism conditionally by virtue of existence of vital power, susceptibility and resistance. So diseases are acting because of the condition. So it is not that all individuals will be getting affected moment they are exposed to any organisms. Only few are affected and others are spared because of underlying susceptibility and immunity. Hence causes are conditional. What is matter and force? See, physics teaches us matter is indestructible. The substance is cognizable to senses. So matter is always indestructible. It can be transformed. So what is mass? It is made up of molecules, atoms and electrons. Vibratory state of matter supposed to exist in the interatomic ether of space. So this is more in detail about physics. So most important what we want to try to understand is a concept in homeopathy about dynamism and a material concept in the modern medicine. So let's have the compare and contrast. Ether is a hypothetical medium filling all spaces through which passes wave motion, vibratory energy and light waves. Physical science does not tell us about the source of energy. So here what we want to understand is that the modern medicine is accepting the causes of disease only as material. They don't accept the causes of disease as dynamic. Now, what is the evidence here? The physical science just is not accepting the source of energy as vital energy, and they consider that whatever the phenomena of hearing, the phenomena of vision, it is all because of passage of waves. In the chapter of substantialism, it is explained very well that the modern medicine believes that thought is because of the motion of molecules. The hearing and vision phenomena is because of motion of molecules. This is acceptable in modern medicine. But the question they can't answer is who gives the molecules motion? Why do they move? So they cannot answer this. So the it is evident that the motion is governed by the vital energy. So we all come to accept that the all the phenomena in the body are because of the control of vital energy, and this vital energy they don't accept. So the materialist person says that the phenomena are because of the ether, that is the hypothetical means imaginary medium filling the space through which passes the wave motion, vibratory energy and light waves. But why there is a passage of light waves is because of the dynamic energy. What is that radiates through ether in the form of waves? Science accepts that substantial form of ether. So physical science accepts ether, but it denies the presence of vital energy. And homeopathy accepts the presence of vital energy. So important difference between the two concepts. Biology tells organisms made of cells which contain nuclei, and it has centrosome, accepts it as dynamic center, controls cell division as well as karyokinesis, means division of nucleus. So biology at one juncture it accepts that life is energy, and at another point it denies its presence in the phenomena of cell division. Dynamic center means center of power. It is not in the physical form. Power means capacity of person to work for production of force by which work is done. So this is again physics. Power is energy and force is mass into acceleration. So power is responsible for the production of force. Life comes from life. Centrosome acts as a dynamo, acts by conversion of mechanical energy into electrical energy. Biology evades, means does not accept the concept of vital force, life, power, and fails to explain the phenomena of growth, reproduction, and life. CNS has cells, centrosomes, which acts like a dynamo. Each cell has dynamo which converts one energy into another. Food energy is converted to vital energy. So all of us believe that if we want the power, we want the immunity, we have to consume nutritious food. So this is nothing but conversion of food energy into vital energy, and this done by the cells. And who gives the power to cells is this vital energy. So homeopathy strongly advocates the phenomena of vital energy which controls all the functions of the individual. Disease. Virchow said, see, Virchow was a very renowned scientist in the 19th century. He said in 1897, disease is life energy under altered condition. Dr. Hahnemann said in 1813, spirit of homeopathic doctrines, disease is dynamic alteration of spirit-like life under altered condition. So we always say that Dr. Hahnemann was way ahead of the science, and science was slowly developing. He said that the disease is altered phenomena due to the alteration of the spirit-like vital force. Robert Koch said in 1883 by studying cholera, there are thread-like bacteria, comma-shaped in the intestines of cholera patients. He cultivated these on media and multiplying with great rapidity. Germs were the cause of cholera. So Dr. Robert Koch could demonstrate the presence of these comma-shaped bacteria because of the discovery of microscope. Pattenkoffer, a scientist in Munich, swallowed live germs with his assistants, but none suffered. They thought it is necessary the presence of susceptible favorable conditions, unhealthy conditions for growth of bacilli. So the conclusion from Pattenkoffer's experiment proves that germs are the cause of disease, but they are not the only cause of disease. They are secondary causes. The most important is the primary cause, and that is the condition of underlying susceptibility and the person's immunity. The unhealthy conditions facilitate the growth of bacilli, as well as lowered immunity facilitates the condition of growth of bacilli. So for a disease phenomena to take place, there are two aspects necessary. One is the virulence of the organism and second is the host susceptibility or immunity. So the most important amongst these two is the fundamental aspect, that is host susceptibility, the resistance power or the immunity. So bacteria are the secondary causes and the primary cause is the underlying susceptibility. We also call this as the soil. So if the soil is not favorable for the bacteria, the disease will not develop. Hufeland said in 1831 about Asiatic cholera, which broke in Europe, it is atmospheric in origin. Again, at Hufeland's time, microscope was not discovered. Dr. Hahnemann said it is communicated, means cholera is communicated by contagion and passed from one person to another on ships, watery places, by minute invisible living creatures, the animated beings. So very important, this is the name given by Dr. Hahnemann to the current term of microorganisms. He could imagine that the disease cholera is spread by minute invisible living creatures, the animated beings. So disease is a condition of changed state of health. Bacillus is the proximate cause of cholera, not the only cause of cholera. It is one of the several causes of cholera. Example: social, moral, atmospheric, telluric, sanitary, hygienic conditions. So many causes are responsible for cholera. So underlying susceptibility is the essential condition, is the most fundamental condition for any disease to develop. So causes gives rise to effects, power gives rise to products. Means what? If there are causes which are dynamic origin, it causes the effects on the body. So because of the power, that is the disease power, there are products of the disease. So products of the disease is organ pathology. So power produces the organ pathology. So for modern medicine, the organ pathology itself is a disease, and for a homeopath, the disease is because of the altered dynamic vital force, that is power. So homeopathy will treat this power, and modern medicine treats the products of disease, that is the organ pathology. So the invisible causes, the causes are invisible, and products of disease, that is organ pathology, is visible. So try to compare the left hand and the right hand. So on the left hand, the causes gives rise to effects. So causes of disease are dynamic in origin. So dynamic causes affects the vital power, that is our vital energy, and this is responsible for the disease products. So disease products is nothing but the organ pathology. The causes are invisible and they are responsible for the visible organ pathology. The causes are dynamic and the organ pathology is material. So life is power. Health is normal function of organs. Disease is the visible pathology, that is tumor, ulcer, eruptions. Functional changes precedes the structural changes. So this is the language in organon. So pathology is of two types basically. That functional changes means only the some abnormal sensations and functions the individual will experience, and structural means there is a microscopic or macroscopic change in the cells the pathology develops. The internal changes are prior to external changes. That means what? First, the vital energy is affected, and this gives rise to the organ pathology. So, vital energy affection is internal, and organ pathology is external. We don't see life and mind. We don't see the life energy. We don't see the vital energy, but its existence is there. Disease is altered state of mind and life. Manifestations of abnormal sensations and functions. Invisible manifests itself into the visible tissue changes, that is organ pathology. We know gravity by phenomena of falling apple. We know electricity by phenomena of lamp. We know life by phenomena of health and disease. Very nicely explained the dynamic concept. Because we accept the gravitational energy, we accept the electrical energy, we will have to accept life energy, which is responsible for phenomena of health and disease. It is not that whatever is visible is all that exists. Means tumor or ulcer or eruptions is not just the disease. It is the visible form of the disease. And disease is before that. And what is that? Affection of the vital invisible power. This is the disease. Germs or bacillus cannot be the sole only cause of disease, but they are exciting or proximate cause. Predisposing antecedent causes must exist before the germ is operative. Means what? Predisposing causes or antecedent means the current causes must be present so that the underlying susceptibility, or we can say the soil must be fertile to attract these germs, and if the soil is not fertile it will not attract the germs, patient will stay healthy. And this soil, if it is faulty, it is the responsible for attraction of germs. So homeopathy will treat this faulty soil, this faulty susceptibility, and the modern medicine treats the germs. So the soil indicates the tendency of the individual to attract diseases. So homeopathy treats from the roots because it treats the tendency, and modern medicine just kills the germs, but it cannot remove the tendency. Many Klebsiella bacilli, which are responsible for diphtheria, exist in the throats of healthy people. Many pathogenetic organisms present in the nasopharyngeal secretions. They are harmless unless the morbid susceptibility is activated. So there are presence of various bacteria, but they are harmless to that individual. Dr. Hahnemann does not say if every tangible or every visible result of the disease has been removed, patient is cured. Because the disease is cured when every perceptible sign of suffering of the dynamis has been removed. So every sign of the suffering of dynamis means what? Every abnormal sensation of patient with respect to his mind must be removed. Tumor is not the disease, but it is the end product of disease. Modern medicine will excise the tumor, and homeopathy will treat the cause of the tumor. So, cause of the tumor is the disease for homeopathy. And where is this cause? The affection of vital energy. So homeopathy will treat this affection of vital energy by the similimum, and automatically the tumor will disappear. And how homeopath can treat this affection of vital energy? So this affection of invisible vital energy manifests itself into the primary symptoms as mental generals and physical generals, which are most important for homeopath for the selection of similimum. Treatment is not for the tumor but for the disease which produced tumor. So homeopathy treats this disease which produced tumor, and this disease is nothing but affection of vital energy, the morbid susceptibility or this morbid soil. By application of local treatment, the ointment, etc., disease is not cured but it gets rather metastatized. We call it as suppression. Disease is cured by internal homeopathic treatment with social, psychical, hygienic auxiliary measures. The right palliation is application of curative principle in emergency incurable diseases. So Dr. Hahnemann allowed right palliation in the application, its application in emergency and incurable diseases. So cure in homeopathy. In suppression and palliation, effects of the disease, that is visible pathology, is removed, but the disease is not removed. So in homeopathy, no palliation or suppression is taking place. Cure takes place by administration of dynamic single similar remedy. So cure in homeopathy, let's understand and let's conclude. Homeopathy has principle of law of similia. Homeopathy has strong foundation of concept of vital energy, and it controls all the life processes. Organ pathology is the outcome of the deranged vital energy. Homeopathy treats this deranged vital energy. Disease pathology disappears by internal administration of homeopathic similimum. Health. Vital energy in harmony, equilibrium of functioning of various organs. Disease is the vital energy which is dynamically disturbed by dynamical causes. These dynamical causes are exciting causes in acute disease and miasmatic causes in chronic disease. Thank you. So that was all about the discussion on life, health, and disease.